All right, let's pull back the curtain on something really fascinating. We're talking about a secret psychological weapon that some of the most captivating people in history have used.
Okay, so what do Harry Houdini, Kobe Bryant, and a perfect first date have in common? I know, it sounds like the setup to a really weird joke, right? You've got this legendary escape artist, an absolute icon on the basketball court, and then that amazing first date where everything just clicks. The thing is, the connection between them, it's totally real, and it's ridiculously powerful.
And the answer, well, it's a secret that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time. It's a principle that's so fundamental to how we interact with each other that, I promise you, once you see it, you're going to start noticing it everywhere.
All right, first up, Masters of Illusion. Is it magic or something else? Let's start by diving into the world of big, spectacular stage magic. You know, where it really looks like these performers are bending the laws of physics right in front of your eyes.
I mean, just think about the scale of what David Copperfield was doing back in the 80s. This wasn't just pulling a rabbit out of a hat. No. He was making the Statue of Liberty disappear. He floated over the Grand Canyon. He walked through the Great Wall of China. This is the kind of stuff that leaves millions of people just staring at their TVs, mouths wide open, asking, how on earth did he do that?
And of course, you can't talk about illusion without bringing up the legend himself, Harry Houdini. I mean, this guy's entire career was built on doing the impossible, escaping from chains, locked safes, water tanks, you name it. He wasn't just putting on a show, he was basically a symbol of what humans are capable of.
So, was it actual magic, supernatural powers? Nah, not even close. The real secret, the engine that powers all these incredible feats, is psychology. It's all about having a deep, practical understanding of the human mind. So let's go ahead and pull back that curtain.
Here's the key thing to get. The real power isn't in the trick itself. It's in mastering nonverbal communication, that unspoken language of the body. The greatest magicians, they're masters of psychology first, and tricksters second. They get how we all communicate without ever saying a word.
And just look at how simple yet powerful this is. Think about it. An open posture, legs uncrossed, arms open. It sends this subconscious signal that says, hey, I'm open, I'm willing to listen. But a closed posture, arms folded, body turned away, that's a wall. It signals resistance so that you're feeling vulnerable. Magicians, great speakers, leaders, they know this, and they use it on purpose to guide how an audience feels and where they put their attention.
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting for our everyday lives. Let's take these secrets and apply them to maybe the most important performance of all, making a real, genuine connection with another person.
So there's this technique performers use called a proxemic or emotional fadeaway. It's basically a push-pull thing. Imagine this. After a big moment of connection, like a huge reveal or a shared laugh, the performer might physically lean back or quiet their voice. What does that do? It creates distance, a little bit of tension, and it makes you, the audience, lean in because you want more. It's an incredible way to control the whole emotional rhythm of the moment.
Now, does that whole push-pull dynamic sound familiar at all? I mean, listen to this quote. I have a need for spontaneity. He has a need to plant things out. This is a perfect example of how that same tension plays out in our relationships, right? One person is pushing forward with, let's just go, and the other is pulling back with, hang on, let's make a plan. Neither one is wrong, but figuring out how to manage that tension, that's the whole game.
And that's the principle right there. It's the exact same idea. Just like a magician is managing the audience's attention, a great connection is all about managing space, tension, and expectations. It's knowing when to lean in with your energy and when to pull back and give the other person some room. It's like a dance.
And you know what one of the best tools for that dance is? Active listening. And I don't just mean hearing the words they say, it's about being fully present. Step 1, put your phone away. Seriously. Step 2, really focus on them, their little facial expressions, their tone. Step 3, try to understand where they're coming from. And 4, respond in a way that shows you actually heard them. That is how you create that magical feeling in a conversation.
And hey, while we're on the topic of connection, here's a fun little piece of trivia. Look at how many kids some of these famous magicians had. Houdini, 0. Penn Jillette, 2. David Copperfield, 3. Just an interesting little side note on how things played out off stage for them. But anyway, the real magic of connection isn't about stats on a table. It's about what happens in the moment. And that leads us perfectly into the psychology of peak performance.
Okay, so we've seen this psychological secret weapon at play with illusionists and in our personal relationships. But what about using it to achieve greatness in a super competitive field? Let's zoom out a bit
and talk about achieving Mamba mentality. In the world of sports, this intense focus has a name, and it was perfected by the legend himself, Kobe Bryant. He called it the Mamba mentality.
And what is the Mamba mentality? Well, it's not just about practicing your jump shot over and over again. It's a relentless, all-in dedication to mastering every single aspect of your craft. The physical stuff, yeah, but also the strategic side. And maybe most importantly, the psychological game. It's about being so focused that you can read your opponent's tendencies, their little tells, just like a magician reads their audience.
And there it is. That's the connection. The kind of deep psychological work that Kobe did to become a legend, it's the exact same kind of work a master illusionist does. They're not just practicing a trick, they're studying human attention, human perception, what people expect, and they learn to play those things like a finely tuned instrument.
So, what's the real trick here? After looking at magicians, our own relationships, and elite athletes, what's the big takeaway? What's the final reveal of this whole thing?
It's this. The greatest trick in the world isn't about deception. It's not about fooling anybody. It's about developing a profound understanding of human nature. It's about understanding people so well that you can guide their experience, create a sense of wonder, and build connections that actually mean something. That's the real magic.
And you know what the best part is? None of this is a superpower you have to be born with. These are skills. Skills you can actually learn. You can learn to read and use nonverbal cues to build trust. You can practice active listening to make your connections with people deeper and more real. And you can choose to adopt that mastery mindset to get better at whatever it is you care about.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. The greatest performers, whether they're on a stage or a basketball court, they make all that deep, hard work look completely effortless, like magic. The question for you is, what about you? What's the one conversation you can have today where you decide to create a little bit of that magic? A conversation where you're fully present and you just listen.